Hello, folks. Good evening. Welcome to this episode of Techie Investor. Hope you had a very profitable trading day today. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about a breakout trading strategy using Tesla as a case study. Before we get into the details, I just wanted to get done with the disclaimer. All the information presented in this video is for informational purposes only, and the viewers can use this information for their trading decisions. However, the viewers are solely responsible for all the decisions that they made to buy, sell, or hold any investment decisions. Okay, so having said that, let's dive directly into the chart. This is the Tesla chart. This is the daily Tesla chart that we are looking at it today. The Tesla had a breakout about 3 days back. It was precisely on Thursday that it happened. So first of all, we need to understand what is a breakout, right? Breakout is nothing but something like you get out of a support or a resistance, which indicates that it is going higher. Okay, so how do we determine these breakouts? There are primarily two kinds that I determine. One is through flat lines and one is through the trend lines. So in this video, we will see how we can draw these trend lines and also the flat lines and see how where the price is headed. Okay. So if you look at it, if you have to draw a trend line, you have to draw between either the crest or the troughs. What I mean by the crest is that it is either the higher highs. So always you should go from the chart. When you look at a chart, you should always go from right to left. If you look at here, this is the highest high that was formed. And if you take the next highest high, it is somewhere here. So when I say the crest, that means it's like a swing highs. Okay, that means you can see that, okay, the two things away from them are like lower lower than this one. For example, if you take this candlestick, which is like a doji, you see that the high of this one is lower than this one, and the high of this candle next to it is also lower than this one. So you can consider this. Again, look at this red candle. If you see here, that the high of this is like 687.51, and the high of this is 692.81, and the high of this is 687.99. So it's as simple as that. We can consider these two and draw a line. Okay, this is where the higher Tesla is going. Now the second thing which you want to consider is even the lower low. So why did when the Tesla came to this price, why did it rebound from here? Let's see. Now one thing that you need to remember about drawing these trend lines is when you're connecting the two lines, it should not intersect any other candlestick. So here, let's say if you want to draw here, let's say this is one of the candlesticks that has formed a lower low. So here now we are considering the troughs. So this is the lower low, and the second one we consider is here, right? If I connect these two, right, I don't see it intersecting, right? You see that it is not intersecting with any of the other candles. Now if I draw an extension of this, you see that it has broken out from this trend line. See, that's pretty much, so it went to the low, it went to the below this trend line, and it started bouncing back. So this is a very good sign that it wants to go up now. So in 3 days, so this is another thing. And also if you consider the flat lines are drawn between two closing prices that are very close to each other. Usually if you see here, this is a doji. If you see here, this is, let me see. If you consider these two, they look very, very close, right? So if you see these two things, if you draw a flat line here, you see that it is going through here. The price is 623.71, and here the closing price is 623.90. So at least 2 points are connecting. So you see this is 625. So as soon as it crossed 625, it's a pretty good sign, and it went 2 days above last week. So the last week it closed at around 656.95, which is very, very high than the 625. This gave an indication that it wants to go up. Now, what happened? Where is it heading to? One thing is it can head to this upper trend line, or if you draw this thing today, if you draw another flat line, you see this? This is like this closing price was like around 678.90, and this closing price was around 679.82. But you don't actually look at the prices when you draw a flat line. They seem to be close to each other. So this is what. So this is where it went. This was the first resistance that it was holding on. But another thing that I use is the ATR. So the ATR of the ATR is the average true range. That means how much it moves on a particular day. You can use the daily ATR, and you can also use the weekly ATR. On the daily ATR, if you look at it on my left hand side, when I right click on this, it's $24. So 656 was the closing price, plus 24, it was going to 680 for the daily. So it could have moved to 680. That's why we saw this big move. Again, guys, I'm not saying every time you'll see the move on a single day, but I was prepared for this at the end of the week calls. So I knew that the move was to 680, and we were like holding on to 700, right? I was holding on to 700 calls, and it made a rapid move. Also, you want to look at the weekly. The weekly, if you look, if you go into a weekly candlestick, and it was the previous week when it was breaking up, it was $64. So if you see from the low, if you see from the low of 620.46, it moved already to $64. That means it's $684. So that is where I exactly sold today. And also, if you look at, okay, there's one small caveat here. It has reached the ATR of $64, so I sold my positions today. But having said that, there is no, that doesn't mean that Tesla may not go up much more, because it has broken through this flat line, 678.90. Now, you can say, hey, but I wanted to definitely make sure that it is not a fake breakout. Sometimes what happens is these stocks cross over the flat line, but they come back, indicating a fake breakout. So at least you want a 2-day breakout above, 2-day breakout above the flat line. So I'm waiting for a confirmation tomorrow to see if it stays above this. So if it stays above this, then it's a good chance that it can go to the next resistance, which is like 729 or something, which is to touch this trend line. Okay, so that is what could happen to, if it stays above this flat line. So far we talked about a lot of concepts. One is how to draw a trend line, how to draw the flat lines, and how to use the ATR. Now the other thing which you can consider is the Fibonacci. So if you look at it, this is the upward trend, and the Fibonacci is always a three-way. You can use the Fibonacci retracement to see where this is heading. If I draw this line, it is at a 12, it went to 25% retracement, and there's a very good chance it can go to the 125%, which is like at 726. So there is a possibility that Tesla can go here tomorrow or within the next couple of days. But having said that, I'm a little bit skeptical in the sense, looking at the trend line, it looks very possible. So let's see what happens for tomorrow. Tesla seems to be in an upbeat. But one thing what I wanted to tell was Tesla, even the lead span B is above lead span A, which is not a good sign. But the lagging span of Ichimoku is above the price, which is a good sign that the prices are trying to go upwards in the future. Okay, this is what I wanted to share today. Hope it was informative for you, and I'll catch you in the next video.